You are listening to Build, Excite, Equip, easy change management for project teams. I am your host, Nicola Graham, coming to you as a business change manager, entrepreneur and author, as well as discussing top tips and tricks for project teams to use to improve your project adoptions. Let's get started. So, Simplify Change. Simplify Change. I become the managing director of Simplify Change. Was my very first company where I moved from being officially a business change manager and focusing more on a managing director role. So how I started because I came up with an idea. Funny enough, watch this space because that idea is still in movement. But at the time, I wanted to find a way that I could create a tool that would help communicate with other people better. Basically, I wanted to find a virtual change manager. So I was talking to a friend of mine who became my business partner, Zane Blore, and we started spitballing the idea. I put it through some investment channels, and it turned out that it seemed to be a good thing. So we started our company. We went into a startup lab at WeWork, so we really started to pitch for investments. It was really great fun. And then I did get a little bit side-blinded by two things. I had some previous people I worked with ask for my support. So before I realized it, the company kind of went down this route of consultancy, which obviously was also great because we hit pandemic at the time. So I went into that. And I've done a full chat about Simplify Change, so I don't want to go into it too much as to kind of where I bounced around. What I loved about it is part of this is I absolutely loved working with my business partner. It was a challenge. If you're going to go into a business with a friend, then be prepared for the ups and downs that you have in that. But I loved the challenge of that, and I loved the fact that we really managed to navigate that area. I really enjoyed the flexibility of being an owner of a startup. Obviously, I work all sorts of hours. I never stop thinking about my job, but I also get to flex that a little bit more. So it gave me this ability to be around my children a lot more, rather than being a full-time working mum who had to put her kids with childcare. It gave me a lot more flexibility, and that was a really great benefit. I enjoyed supporting others. Something that I felt I did really well throughout my startup career is I discovered fresh and enthusiastic and young students that just finished their university degrees, and they wanted to really experience what a career could give them. And I felt that I had a lot of career experience in that. Obviously, we've just spoken about the different kind of roles I've had, and I've been able to really help and influence the younger generations when it comes to their career growth. I loved working and meeting different clients and people. I've really created a nice network around owning my own company and running my own company. Worked with lots of different vendors and suppliers and other startups. Really, it was really good fun. What I found challenging, obviously, one of them was trying to be in a business with one of your close friends is always a challenge. One of the others is cash flow. Cash flow is, if you run a startup, if you know anyone who has a startup, you will know that cash flow is quite the challenge. And it just feels that you're constantly worrying about money coming in to pay people. And that's often because what you realize as a startup, you get, and this is my 60 seconds of moaning. Big companies take you on a 60-day invoicing scheme, whereas other people expect to be paid 30 days. So you're waiting for money to come in from these big organizations that quite frankly can pay you and can afford to pay you. And then meanwhile, you're held accountable for paying people within 30 days. And so that balance of cash coming in and cash going out is really challenging. And then, obviously, I finished my managing director role within Simplify Change and launched Be Change Limited a couple of months ago. And if you've been listening to these podcasts, you'll know that because I spoke about it before. So I will try not to harp on a little too much about this, but why not? I'm proud of what I've done. I branched out. I branched out on my own. And one of the main reasons I did that was because Simplify Change was doing so well with consultancy, and that was fabulous. But I just couldn't break away from being in the consultancy side. Obviously, I'm an expert in what I do, and when we were speaking to clients, guess what? Clients wanted me in the room. So it was really beginning to stretch me too thin. I was working across too many different clients. I had an ongoing health problem at the time, which was putting me in and out of hospital. And then I found myself coming out and not being able to rest through that and continuing to have to work with clients, obviously, because that was important to me and it was important to our company. So I really wanted to break out of the consultancy side of things. And secondly, I just found it really gutting. I mean, I'd written this book as part of Simplify Change, and I'd launched this book, and the book was doing so well, but I hadn't done anything with it. I hadn't done what I spoke about, which was the virtual business change manager tool. I hadn't done that, and I hadn't pushed my book into training. I hadn't focused on changing the way that we run projects today by incorporating the change activities into the project management role. And I didn't have the bandwidth to do that within Simplify Change. So I created Be Change for exactly that purpose. It was really to focus my time and attention into the Be Change model, helping project teams by supporting the business and applying the change activities. What I love is bleeding passionate about it. I love it. I'm so proud of that whole concept. And I'm really enjoying talking to potential customers, new and old, and talking to them about how we can really help them in that area. I'm loving the fact that I'm doing podcasts again, which I had to stop at Simplify Change, and doing my YouTube channel. I'm learning so much. And mostly what I am really loving is the networking. I'm really pushing myself to get out there and talk to people, do forums, present myself, present my theories, and meeting people and just learning from you all, really. Challenges are probably the same. You've always got the cash flow challenge, but actually my biggest challenge at the moment is time. I do not have time. I'm currently rushing this podcast because I wanted to make it today, but I need to finish now because I have other things to do. Time is my biggest challenge at the moment. I need to grow, but I haven't got the time to do it. So if you have any cloning tools out there for me, and you can send one my way, and go ahead and clone me, that would be great, guys, because that's what I need right now. So that's it from me. That's obviously everything about my career. I hope that you found this enjoyable to listen to. Obviously, it's very me. But I do think it's really interesting. And just talking to you about it today makes me realise that I genuinely, I genuinely have progressed to being a business change manager and getting where I am today from all of my experiences. And what I've learned from all of these different roles has just been fabulous. So maybe if you're on the start of your career, and if you are, then make sure that you go ahead and get yourself into the technology industry, because I love it and I find it really interesting. But also don't believe that one career is going to be your last career. You know, I'm pretty certain I'm going to have different careers, even if it is being a surf beach bum. I'm going to go for that career too. Why not, right? So just go and do something that you love. Just make sure that you are loving what you do, that the love outweighs the challenges that you may face, and be sure to pivot when you get that opportunity to pivot when you need it. Do it. You won't regret it. So until the next time, I really hope you've enjoyed today's podcast. My next podcast is going to be talking about communications, because I've got a lot to say about that after some latest conversations I've been having with people. So until the next time, guys, have a wonderful day, have a wonderful week, and I will speak to you soon. Thank you, and bye-bye.